Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Female Founders Panel, the new face of entrepreneurship. We are thrilled to convene this panel, this group of highly successful women that have scaled, raised significant capital, or achieved a notable exit. Events like this happen with some frequency in the Bay Area and New York, but this, we believe, is a first panel of its type here in Oregon. We've asked our panelists today to fully share their journeys, what inspired them, what's challenged them, and how they've confronted the unexpected risks and rewards in building their businesses.
Remember, Howard Schultz came to Portland and toured with me for the day, which was such an honor. And I used to work for him, and so he wanted to see what the heck I was up to. And at the end of the day, I said, what are you most worried about now that you've seen my company and seen what's going on? And he said, HR, you need to get HR in order. And I said to him, I know the thing about that is, what is HR? And he said, yeah, get it going, get it.
Someone came to me and said, hey, I think your business is worth this. And I said, I don't believe you, but, I'm interested if that's even partially true. And I sold a majority stake of Ruby to Updata Partners out of Washington, D.C. And I do think I'm very lucky, but I also think that sort of lens of I'm not just going to let anybody take an investment in Ruby. It's got to be the right partner. And it's really been, these last 3 years have been more exciting and more fun than the previous 10, we'll say.
Mm-hmm. I've worked in the venture capital industry, I've worked in prison reentry, and now in the semiconductor industry, 3 industries that are very dominated by men. My 2 best mentors are men, but they were individuals who I really resonated with, who valued my perspective from very early on. They were both people I worked with at the venture firm. But I think the most important thing was just that he was someone I really, really, really respected. I really trusted his judgment, and we could talk the same language, and gender had nothing to do with it.
So we now have these investors at the table, which is new to us as well, and we're sitting there going like, it was kind of a bad year. Like, yeah, you're about to run out of money. As we were leaving the room, Alan Karp, who's one of our investors, said, I wonder, do you think your team can win if they don't know they're not winning? And we all went, that's a great quote. And we went back and told everyone that, and we called an all-company meeting, and it didn't scare people. I had a line of people waiting after the meeting of people to talk to me about opportunities for growth and where they wanted to be the next 2 years with the company. We met 2 weeks ago, I guess, in New York City to meet with our board, present our results, and they said, we did not think you could do this. We have never seen a company come this far ever from where you were to where you are.
It does actually surprise people when they come in and they see our dashboards that are available for everybody, because we measure everything. When I looked into the data, 40% of our calls were getting what we call parked, which meant they were insanely overworked. And it's just completely outside of whack, and I think that's part of the growing fast. And so that was the first thing we measured was perk rate, and we started at 40, and our goal was to get to under 10. And actually, within a week of just measuring and keeping it live, we were at 7 from 40. It was crazy.
I'm sure, as everybody knows, the job market is really great right now, and we were really struggling with hiring and turnover. We're in the restaurant industry, so turnover industry average is about 15-20% year over year. I had my core team, we all did a retreat and really took the time to define our company culture and our company values. And once that was defined, the company just took off. People owned it, and they just took off running with it. And all of a sudden, I think we're on our 6 week straight of 0 turnover. So our retention has skyrocketed, and it's saved me about $100,000 a year.
We have a very family-friendly company that's based on work-life balance. I think that the 80 hours a week, Silicon Valley tech, it's a bunch of BS. People aren't working 18 hours a day. They're pretending. I have a philosophy that you have a life and you don't need me to provide your life for you at my company. You want to come in, you want to work hard, you want to be creative, you want to use your intelligence, and then you want to go home. And when you do that, the next day when you come to the office, you're going to give more. You know, for me, Oregon has been a very positive part of growing my company and feeling like I can give 300% and still be there for my family because it's less complicated.
Well, we are much smaller. We have about 40 people worldwide. We've grown, that's about a 50% increase from 12 months ago. So figuring out the right pieces you need to add, and then culturally the right pieces that you need to add to this very small, tight-knit group that's been together for a long time is really challenging. A couple things we've had to do to add those right pieces is have a team in Belgium. And adding, finding the right people in Belgium, recruiting them to Belgium, moving them to Belgium, understanding Belgian labor laws, tax laws, payroll processes, documentation. That's all the stuff I now know.
HR.
There have been moments in time that I've been like, man, got the team, got in place, we're all going in the right direction. But it's temporary. It's always temporary. It never lasts. Growing fast means even the people you thought were perfect for, one moment in time, a year later, you could look and be like, gosh, it's a different skill set all over again.
But I think one of the things I'm most proud of is the culture, and you've heard a lot of us talk about it. So if you're running and starting your companies, don't wait. Culture is important. Think about it now. Think about your values and your ethics and your morals, because that's what builds your culture. And if you don't do that, culture is going to be there. It will be there no matter what. So you either direct it or it will happen around you and the void will be filled.
My instinct is to not do public speaking. I'm an introvert in front of or around big groups of people. And an introvert doesn't mean I'm shy. It just means being around big groups of people makes me really tired, which is fine. It's a fine thing. But I realized that it's really good for me to push myself and to get out and do things like this. Actually, I did another public speaking event, thank you very much, yesterday at the airport. It was the 30th anniversary of the clock tower at Portland International Airport, and I was the only woman there. And as I was talking to the audience and looking around, all of the women in the audience were just laser focused, and they were like, yes, we see you, girl, we see you. And it made me, and moments like that make me realize I have to keep doing this. I have to keep putting myself out there because it's not about me. It really isn't. It's about my company and it's about the future. It's about women.
I knew this panel tonight was going to be good, but it was great. Thank you all for your insights, your candor. I've learned a tremendous amount. I know we all have. Hopefully lots more to come.